And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Among the Embers. It's been a while. It's been, 4 weeks? A month? Something like that?
Just over a month, I want to say.
We were planning to make things happen last week, but, real life attacked me, and it rolled a crit. So, yes, as usual, we would like to thank Modifius for creating this wonderful gaming system, the charming people at Star Trek Online for allowing us to use some of their assets, and Fury Viserve on DeviantArt, who made the template, which allowed us to make the dedication plaque for the USS Nightingale. Now, last episode was another interlude. The crew of the Firehawk had to reunite the Romulan Star Empire, such as it was. The Abraxan faction, which I stated throughout that episode to be the Akanarian faction because I'm terrible. The Abraxans had turned isolationist and basically closed their borders after their attempts to assassinate all the other Praetors, which was foiled by the crew of the Nightingale. But with the invasion of the Crusade, and the fact that Abraxan space holds a number of important shipyards, everyone really didn't want that falling into Crusade hands. You were able to go to the Beta Volantis system, rescue Praetor Nadaris, and subsequently used a heavily modified Thaleron bomb to cripple the Crusade fleet and drive them back, with the Abraxans agreeing to join the Alliance, at least until the Crusade threat was dealt with. And really, that's what matters. Because who knows, if you don't, that could be the end of life as you know it.
And who knows, maybe after the Crusade crisis ends, maybe the Akanarian... No, not the Akanarians. Now I'm doing it. The Abraxans will change their stance and permanently reunite with the Romulan Empire.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah. A guy can dream.
Prior to that, our intrepid viewers may remember that the USS Nightingale was involved in the Battle of Beta Lancal, where the Crusade first managed to break through into our reality. And while it did play a key role in ensuring that things didn't go nearly as bad as they could have, Nightingale did suffer extensive damage, and basically had to be towed back to Starbase 24 to be repaired. But the command crew of the Nightingale has not been idle. How about we go through the list and hear about what you've all been up to? Says she, assuming that you made notes on what I told you previously. First up, an old face returning to the ship. Captain Jazonan. You left the Nightingale shortly after the Hakona incident at the Vault. What have you been up to since then?
After the Hakona incident, Admiral Janeway thought it would be more prudent that I focused almost entirely on diplomatic efforts with the Romulan people, as we were fairly close at getting some of them to join forces together, and my capabilities were much needed in that endeavor. I left my ship in the trusted hands of her crew, and I was not disappointed.
even if they did try to break it several times.
That's just normal Starfleet operations.
That is tradition.
Sure.
One
not
cannot
my
make
fault.
an omelet without. One cannot make an omelet without cracking a few omelets. Isn't that what the
That-
humans say?
Cracking a few eggs to make the omelet. But close enough.
Close enough.
Lovely.
I'm sure Commander Bong and I will have an extensive conversation about the status of the status of the ship.
With the Crusade invasion, and the fact that the various Romulan factions are more or less on board at this point, Janeway has decided to return you to the Nightingale.
Where I truly belong.
Indeed. It also means that you're no longer dealing with being in the middle of Janeway and Thela. Which,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, nobody would envy you that particular role. Let's see. Come on. Speaking of our giant Viking, Commander Bong, what have you been up to since bringing your temporary command into space dock?
Bjorn has been bouncing around various diplomatic points with Ambassador Worf in the Klingon Empire. He's pleased to be returning to the ship. The late nights in Warnog were starting to get to him, and he's entirely too young to be looking like that.
Yeah, Klingon diplomacy is hard.
As a result of his most recent tour, it was agreed between he and Ambassador Worf that it is probably for the best should he also be presenting the Klingon rank symbol. So he was gifted Worf's old commander sash. He is also, in preparation for the current deployment, made sure that the starbase they're based out of has requisitioned 3 new deflectors, just in case.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah. Hopefully you won't need them, but you never know. Alrighty. So, Commander Pharrell Aranis and Lieutenant Commander Naz Bassan, you actually had a fairly extensive adventure of your own.
Indeed, we did. Upon my promotion to commander, Admiral Janeway has assigned me to the USS Galaxy for further efforts in my attempts to combat Crusade warships. And I recommended the Galaxy as an envoy vessel for Naz in her efforts to negotiate with the Gorn hegemony.
Indeed. Naz being the first and currently only Gorn in Starfleet.
My position within the hegemony was interesting, to say the least. They were at equal terms impressed with my dedication and very much not with my choice of allegiance. But they acquiesced to at least hear me out, which was all I could really hope for.
Indeed. And although there are going to be stings in the tail there, mainly of the form of potentially dragging the Federation into an ugly position in the
conflict between the Klingons.
ongoing Klingon-Gorn conflict. For the moment, that's been put on hold because, extra-dimensional invaders.
The hegemony and the king did see reason with regards to the crusade and have agreed to a temporary ceasefire with the Klingons. They have also dispatched a small squadron of their own fleet to test these invaders for themselves, I would presume.
Indeed, which accompanied the galaxy back towards the warfront, which became useful because your return journey was not without incident.
Indeed.
Oh, yes.
We were ambushed by a group of followers of Lucara ships. It was a fairly tough fight. But then Nas suggested something that would turn to our boon later.
I had well, it was a plan that was not likely to have been used, but I made it anyway on the off chance the opportunity presented itself. Lo and behold, such an opportunity arose. I suggested the galaxy feign harsher damage than it took, dropping our shields in the face of the Lucaran attack. A risky maneuver, but one that paid off since they intended to capture us. Once their shields were down, and while they were beaming aboard their own parties, I took a small strike force and beamed directly toward their computer core.
Klingons are Klingons, even if they've been duped and brainwashed by extensive mythological conspiracy.
Captain McKay was slightly hesitant, but trusted both my and Naz's judgment in this regard.
And it did work out. With some assistance from your Gorn escorts, which it appears the Lucarans were not expecting, we were able to both beat them off and acquire some interesting data.
Indeed, we've uncovered the plans for an attack on Starbase 234.
Indeed. And when you arrived at Starbase 24, and communicated this to various other to Starfleet Command, they analyzed the situation and realized that this makes a lot of sense. Although the Crusades defeated Beta Volantis was the...
Oh, that's what's up.
All good?
Yeah, just my table being wonky.
Yes, although their defeat at Beta Volantis was probably the most stark and definitive one, the Crusade advance has more or less stalled on all fronts. The Klingons have been throwing pretty much everything they have at both the Lucarans and the Crusaders to prevent them from getting any closer to Kronos. And the combined Federation and Romulan fleets elsewhere have been nibbling at the Crusades' flanks. But there is one particular location which, if it falls, could lead to problems. Starbase 234 is right in the dead zone between the Romulan Star Empire, the Klingon Empire, and the United Federation of Planets. It's been used as a transition point and a resupply point by all three factions. If that falls, and that crossroads is lost, logistics lines are going to be elongated significantly, and it'll be a lot harder to mobilize forces to counter Crusade incursions.
It will take away our forward operating base on this front.
Indeed.
It will also represent the first time the Crusaders actually struck the Federation. Thus far, they've been focusing their efforts on the Romulans and the Klingons. But apparently they've decided at this point that the Federation's role throwing support to both sides, while being relatively untouched themselves, is a problem that needs to be dealt with.
I mean, heck, given all the trouble that Nightingale has caused for them alone, that's definitely cause for them to try and strike at the Federation.
Indeed. So, orders have been deployed, and ships are on the move on both sides. Looks like there's going to be a hell of a scrap at Starbase 234, on which neither side is really willing to lose. This is going to be bloody.
Expect a heavy assault.
In fact, this looks set to be the largest fleet engagement since the Dominion War.
Huh. I missed out on that fight. This should be quite interesting.
And I was still in the academy during the Dominion War, so
I will say that one does not wish to join war.
Captain Jazonan, of course, is a veteran of the Dominion War.
It was not glorious.
from the reports I've read, I'm sort of glad I wasn't part of it.
But we are, of course, forgetting our last crew member. Lieutenant Commander Vintot.
Yep.
What have you been up to?
Well, I've been basically trying to put the ship back together. Making places for those extra deflectors. Then I've also been doing a lot of consulting with the Starfleet Corps of Engineers, particularly with the ships that are coming to help defend the starbase, as well as been working with and been given a tour of the USS Enterprise with Captain Data.
Indeed.
Which was an extremely fun experience for him.
The Enterprise E has been in service for a few years now, but she's still a good ship.
I think he's more fascinated by being able to meet Captain Data, the android.
That would also do it. But it wasn't all sightseeing and hooking up new deflectors. You have in fact been part of a secret project drawing on pretty much all the data that you have, that the Federation and the Romulans have on the Crusaders and their technology.
Must be a big secret because I don't even know about it.
You've noticed a number of you've been brought in to do a lot of briefings on various things which you've seen and experienced, and stuff that the Nightingale went through. Bearing in mind, the Nightingale, alongside the USS Leibniz, are the only Federation ships to have passed through a Crusader transdimensional rift. If you recall, you used that to
Oh
escape
yeah, with the
Yeah,
black hole thing.
Ring back in season 2,
That was exciting.
Right?
which gave you a chance to view Crusader Rift technology up close, along with getting some readings, both of the other dimension and of the kind of stresses that it put on the Nightingale itself, all of which is useful and interesting data. There's also all the bits and pieces which you managed to acquire from the Eternal Sun when you accidentally interfaced with it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of bits and pieces, along with the data acquired from the Vault and other scraps from the Phoenix Convocation. And at this point, as all of you, in drips and drabs, in various fashions, have made your way back to the Nightingale, and are just, feeling the old chairs, all that kind of thing.
It's a good feeling, chair.
I will miss my time aboard the Galaxy, but it is good to be back aboard the Nightingale.
Indeed, Commander.
Ventot enters engineering, kind of gives a smile as he sees the warp core.
You've all had an hour or so to get a feel for the ship again when a message comes through instructing all senior staff to attend a high-level classified briefing on Starbase 24.
Oh boy.
Just
All right,
great,
then.
another meeting.
Tactical planning meetings are typically a little bit more enjoyable than standard, though not for the right reasons.
Well, somehow I knew that things were going to get a little bit more interesting.
You are the de facto experts on the Crusade, so whatever they're planning for Starbase 234, it's a fair bet you can be at the heart of it.
I have no doubt.
Well, when you all arrive in the extra-large briefing room on Starbase 24, there's a lot of senior staff here. Most notably, you can see Captain Data and the command crew of the Enterprise. I believe at this point that all of the classic Enterprise crew have all moved on, aside from Data.
I think LaForge is still on the Enterprise. No, he went to the...
I was gonna say, wasn't he made captain of his own ship?
I think he has by this point.
Yeah, the Challenger, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was Riker. Wait, no.
Riker went to the
Riker-
Titan.
Yeah, Riker
Yeah.
got the Titan.
So yes.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's pretty much just Data now.
But Jory did get a Galaxy-class ship.
Yup.
However, you do in fact see Captain LaForge there, along with a few other luminaries of Starfleet engineering and science. And Vintod, you have a sudden feeling like maybe all of those requests for data you've been getting might be about to come out here.
Oh boy, this looks like this is going to be a fun meeting. And I'm going to
This
probably
is-
barrage with questions later.
This is not in character, so I would say that Vintot's time with Captain Data is about to pay off.
Oza salutes as she enters, as is proper, when facing all of the captains.
And I'll kind of say that because Vintot is tired of the meetings. He just wants to get this over with and get back to what he originally came to Starfleet to do.
Is Captain McCabe and the crew of the Galaxy there?
They're not. The Galaxy had to move on somewhere else.
Currently deployed to Zeta Pictoris?
Zeta Pictoris, correct.
Okay.
Resupply run for the defenders there, but it's entirely possible that you'll be seeing them again shortly.
I have no doubt. If I don't see them again, it'd be too soon.
Well, Captain Data gets to his feet and glances across the room. Thank you all for coming. As I am sure you're all aware at this point, the Crusade fleet is assembling for a massive strike upon Starbase 234. While the combined Federation, Romulan, Klingon, and now Gorn fleets are ready to counter them. However, it is both my opinion and the opinion of Starfleet that the Crusades simply cannot be defeated in a battle of conventional arms. Not without far too much cost to all involved. However, I have been leading a team which I believe has managed to identify a solution to this problem. Specifically related to their method of access to this galaxy. Behind him, the display flicks up to show something which will be quite familiar to all of you, actually. It's tidied up and partially simulated the sensor readings of the Eternal Sun generating the rift which got you out of the black hole. The best sensor reading anyone's ever had of this particular technology being used.
Pharrell raises a brow at that. The readings of the ship in remembrance to that day.
The Crusade uses a form of trans-dimensional portal in order to move between their own dimension and this one. However, from our scans of the USS Nightingale, and after its own experience with one of these rifts, it would appear that the process leaves side effects. Specifically, a form of exotic radiation which, until now, has never been seen before. The effect on the Nightingale was relatively small due to its extremely brief exposure, a matter of a few seconds. However, the Crusade vessels have been exposed to this radiation for thousands, possibly even millions of years.
They've been accumulating a charge, in essence.
Precisely. To be exact, this charge, it has certain similarities to the quantum resonance frequency associated with objects from a specific timeline. He pauses for a moment, and then you can say that he's about to launch into highly technical explanations, and then just goes, "Wait, no, just for your audience."
Mr. Data, you babble too much.
In brief, we believe that it would be possible, with the appropriate modification to Crusader transdimensional technology, to create a rift which would forcibly eject any vessel soaked in this radiation back into this other reality.
So we could shunt them back into their prime universe.
Precisely. Given the extreme difficulty they had in arriving here in the first place, we believe that this would, at the very least, forestall their invasion and allow us to prepare more sufficiently. It may even end this particular cycle and ensure that they do not reappear for thousands of years to come.
And with our technological knowledge uninterrupted by a harvest, their next invasion would be quite much more difficult.
That is certainly one of the projections that we have been working with.
And we will not fall by the wayside like the Takan Empire.
There is, however, a problem. Even with the best minds in Starfleet working on it, we have devised methods to alter Crusade technology in this respect. But we still have not been able to develop a means of creating one of these rift generators with the time and resources that we have available. It could theoretically be possible to make one, but not within the few days that we have at the outside.
Are you suggesting we attempt to capture a Crusade vessel?
That is correct, sir. Yeah. That is correct, Commander Farrell. Commander Ranus, sorry. To be exact, there is one particular ship that we have targeted for this operation, which we are fairly certain will appear during the upcoming operations. He touches the display behind him, and a bulky, antique Klingon vessel appears.
Oh god, we're gonna capture the Lucara, aren't we?
This is the EKS Lucara, a heavily retrofitted sarcophagus-class dreadnought. An extremely old and, in many ways, obsolete vessel which has been retrofitted with both modern Klingon technology and Crusade technology. It's been spotted in numerous engagements by the Klingons, and scans have confirmed that it does have Rift technology. We believe that this will make for a far easier target to capture than a Crusade vessel, given that Crusade technology is apparently based on Darcy technology, which will likely prove to be difficult to navigate. It's also likely that the Lucara will be crewed primarily by Klingons as opposed to Crusaders, which, no offense, he adds to Worf standing on the sidelines, will likely prove to be easier opposition.
Given that the interior of Crusade ships could be made to fit any atmosphere, any boarding party of a Crusade vessel would necessarily have to wear environmental suits, just as a matter of normal precautions.
Although, during my Inventot's time as acting as computer viruses on the Eternal Sun, we can say that their interior layouts are quite unusual for a starship.
Unusual and polymorphic. The time that would be required in order to navigate a Crusade vessel safely while taking on Crusade soldiers, and being able to successfully commandeer the vessel and bring it to a safe location to be able to make the necessary modifications, make the entire prospects unpalatable. Hence the Lucara.
Would we necessarily have to capture the entire vessel, keep it intact, or would it perhaps be possible to disengage the rift generator and steal it from the dreadnought?
That would theoretically be possible, but it should be a matter of last resort, given that we are unsure as to exactly how deeply the Crusade technology is meshed into the Klingon vessel.
Of course, Captain.
Now, Captain Jazonan,
Yes.
the Nightingale has the most experience with Crusade technology, and thus you will be joining the spearhead of the defense forces. There'll be numerous wings. There'll be numerous squadrons and wings dedicated to holding the line of the Crusade advance, flanking, drawing attention, and obfuscating our objective. However, the central spearhead will have the task of breaking through Crusade lines to assault the Lucara directly. We have hopes that it will be possible to claim the Klingon vessel, and depending on circumstance, it may even be possible to modify and activate the rift generator right then and there. We have numerous simulations on this point, but unfortunately, relatively little hard data.
Simulations can only go so far.
Indeed.
Is it alright if I direct a question at Worf for a moment?
He is right there.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not deviating from anything. Ambassador Worf, is there any information you can give us on Lucara in terms of its abilities? We've only had we in turn from Starfleet have only had limited contact with the Lucara.
She is an ancient and formidable warship. In truth, the history of this particular class has been long lost even to us. They were created far before even I cannot speak today.
Words.
Words, what even are they? To be fair, I've been awake for many, many hours. It's 4, so... Yeah, I've been awake for 19 hours. Just FYI.
No yikes.
The sarcophagus class was designed dates from an era even older than what you would recognize as the bird of prey or the Katinga class. They were built to be both ritualistic and deadly weapons of war. Built, and of course, like all Klingon designs, built to last. The fact that this one is still intact is impressive. In truth, we thought that all of them had been destroyed centuries ago. In terms of what we've seen of it on the field, it has proved to be capable of taking on a modern Negva class toe-to-toe and coming out relatively even. Not there have been many opportunities to take it on single-handed, it always has escorts.
If anything, it does prove the testament and fortitude of Klingon vessels.
Indeed. Data leans forward a little bit. We have numerous vessels assembled. We have some of the most powerful, experienced, and dangerous vessels from across the Alliance assembled for this spearhead. But Captain Josana, you will likely need to take the lead on this. As I said, you have the most experience in dealing with the Crusade in this regard. Although at this point all of us have had some experience in fighting them, I believe that as the first to discover this threat, the honor to an extent should still be yours. The Enterprise will be on your wing.
That is a reassuring comfort, Captain.
And at that point, unless anyone has any more questions they'd like to throw in, at that point, it goes into the nitty-gritty of tactics and strategy, divisions, layouts, squadron assignments, all of that good stuff. But before too long, you are back on the Nightingale, and it is time to move out.
Oh boy.
And so, y'all, I see, because I was doing some looking around since I've been gone for so long, y'all took my torpedo.
What now?
Y'all changed the pod out.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been refitted. Instead of be a torpedo house, it's been refitted to be a sensor pod.
So that is correct.
So it provides a bigger boon for my abilities.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So,
And Starbase 234 is not far from Zeta Pictoris, so if we were to call upon reinforcements,
we're bringing quite a sizable force.
Nice Starbase icon you got going here.
So, welcome to Starbase 234.
That was quick.
I assume that the rest of the task force and fleet and such are just gonna be like background ships, like how STO has done it.
Pretty much.
Makes sense.
But, as you arrive, does appear that the Enterprise, Nightingale, and Moog are not going to be all that there is of the Spearhead.
That makes me happy.
And not long after,
Oh, jeez.
Litchfield and Galaxy. Truly, we have some of the quadrant's strongest vessels here.
a little after that, it's the wrong layer.
Oh, I cannot see the stat block for the Moog or the title card. I don't know if that matters to you at this point or not.
It does.
Yeah, the Gorn ship as well. I'm not seeing the stats for it either. The Firehawk meets the Nightingale at last.
Well, she did say that would happen eventually.
Yep.
With the Talonus and
The Laval, maybe.
Yep.
I think that's right. Again, we're missing the nameplate for that one.
I thought I
It looks
fixed all of these, but
It looks like the... Yep.
There we go.
So Sela, Jirok, and Commander Nilduno.
indeed.
Oh joy, do I get to speak to myself?
Well,
It'll probably be me.
Yep. So, going out of character for a moment. If you click on the Nightingale, you will note that it has 3 bars, and those are not your shield and power numbers. Welcome to Fleet Combat.
Oh boy.
Now we gotta just step into a whole new ball game.
Indeed. So, the way this is set up, I'm going to give each of you 2 ships to control.
Ooh.
And I'll explain a little bit about how that works. You just need to pick one of them. Basically, what's going to happen is that now that you've arrived, the command crew of the Nightingale is going to be split up a little bit, with different people going to different ships to act as advisors, take over positions, all that kind of thing. What this means in game terms is that you'll be able to make some rolls to help make things work better with the fleet rolls, which are a lot more... they go a lot quicker than standard combat. But it basically means that you'll be able to use your own skills to buff up whatever ship you choose to be on. And then you can have another one which you hang around with. So, obviously, Captain Jazonan, the Nightingale is yours.
She's my baby.
Commander Bong, if you would like to take control of the Moog, as soon as wait, it's up here. Okay, you should have control over that now. Pharrell, I believe that you should probably have the galaxy.
That would seem sensible. I know her best.
There we go. Ventos, would you like to take the role of Commander Naldino and the Firehawk?
Sure. I have had practice at that.
Okay, I believe you should be able to move that one already. No?
I can move it.
Huh. But you can't, Ventot? Just... Yeah, you should be able to. That's just using the Firehawk.
I can. Sorry, my mic was muted.
Cool. Alright, Once everyone has a ship, right? Oh wait, no,
Nas.
Naz.
Nods.
Guess which one she's taken.
I'm betting it's the Laval.
Do.
And speaking of the Laval, we'll have a Scimitar-class vessel, or variant at least, in this fight, so that should definitely be a big boon in our favor.
Yeah, all of these have slightly different stats on them. And the Laval is your second scariest ship.
Second scariest?
Yep.
Enterprise probably the first, isn't it?
Nope.
Nightingale?
I said you would each get 2 ships.
Oh, right.
Count how many are showing on the field.
7 ships.
There's still a couple
9.
more.
Nice.
There's a scimitar hiding.
Because, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, 9, sorry. Yeah. Well, unless you're counting the galaxy's saucer separation, so that's 2 ships in 1. And 3 ships for the Litchfield.
Dakin will have spotted the other one I've assigned to him. It's not on the field yet, but it'll be in your list of things down the side. Now, for the rest of you, pick your other ship, basically. We have the Litchfield, the Enterprise, the Colonus, and the Laval.
I feel kind of awkward about the Litchfield, seeing how it's under an Admiral's purview.
Yeah, sure.
But it'd be a toss-up for me to be between the Litchfield and the Enterprise. Unless someone else really wants the Enterprise.
Oh, I'm almost, like, since I'm doing Romulans, I think I might as well take the Laval. Unless I'm not supposed to. The Firehawk and the more powerful ships.
Okay.
Well, there's a reason why I should take the Colonus. I'm not looking at stats or anything, by the way.
Don't actually see the second ship, but I can wait for that one.
The Laval is yours, Fantot. Alright, Pharrell?
No, yeah, I'll take the Litchfield.
Alrighty.
Which I think leaves one more?
It leaves Nas and Bjorn to pick their second ships.
I apparently have a second already, so
Yeah.
I'll
Alright. The Enterprise for Captain Jazonan.
I figured that much.
And that leaves you with Tiaru.
Works for me.
You'll have
Alright.
command of a Klingon and a Romulan ship. That's interesting. Not IC command, I mean, but you know what I mean.
Alrighty.
Real quick, who's command Laval? That's Sela.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's-
alliance.
Seal on the Laval, Jarak on Talonis, and yours truly, Vintot on Nilduno on the Firehawk.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. The fleet is assembling, and you're getting the first distant warp signatures of the combined Locarn Crusader fleet. When a ship decloaks near the Nightingale.
Oh.
Where is my...
I think I know who it is.
Ah! Nas's girlfriend!
Oh!
Imperator.
Okay, there we go.
The little Trot-Warp communicator, which you've been holding on to, Nas pings.
It is good to hear from you again, Imperator. Glad you could make it.
It seemed like an appropriate time to make an entrance.
Your timing is impeccable. We are expecting their attack to arrive any moment.
I look forward to it.
Communications transmit the outline of our battle plan to the Imperator. It is important they know of our goals in this fight.
Perhaps just the actual battle orders, not the rest of the goals, but
Oh, that's why she's sending the battle plans.
The Galaxy, USS Galaxy Fleet. That incoming warship is an ally. Although it's in Borg in nature, it is an ally to us.
The Firehawk chimes in. For now. Because it's also responsible for death of Romulans, I believe. Isn't that right? The ones that lost their lives or been assimilated on that research station?
Yes. Yeah, she assimilated a lot of Crusade loyalists, but there were some just hapless everyday Romulans along the road as well.
It's obvious Neil Duno doesn't trust him. I would think Sela would be in that same spot too. But I'm not going to turn away an advantage.
I mean, it's a mildly crazy Romulan who intentionally assimilated herself to create a mini collective.
Yeah.
I think that you'd be crazy to trust her.
Who's the more crazy? The crazy or the crazy that follows it?
Indeed. But because Naz is just apparently can do no wrong when it comes to taking on major villains,
Apparently.
he's on your side. So, I'm
Just to
going to
note,
suggest we take.
this really looks really cool on the stream.
I'll wait till wait till the Crusades start arriving.
Right?
Apparently, I should have swapped out the survival focus for like diplomacy or something. Who knew?
For what it's worth, Lazo, I appear to still have control over the Firehawk. Is that intentional?
Both the Firehawk and the Nightingale are the
Primary.
baseline models.
Yeah,
Okay.
it seems out there those two have been our primary ships being used for the past couple seasons.
Yeah, I could have made entirely new character entries for them, which would mean they'd only be controlled by one person, but it made more sense to do it this way.
Do I need to
worries.
open up their character sheets to be able to roll for them, or?
No.
Oh.
What I'm going to suggest is that we take a break, and then when we come back, I will explain how fleet combat works, and then we can kick it off.
Makes sense.
Alright.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There we go. Alrighty. Should have our music all set up. So, welcome to Fleet Combat. This is designed to go way faster than normal combat, which it really starts to break down once you've got more than 3 or 4 ships involved. So, in this setting, every ship gets 2 actions. Not the usual 5 or 6, just 2.
So, for example, when, say I get a turn, both the Galaxy and the Litchfield would have 2 moves each.
Yes, you wouldn't get to use both at once.
I figured that as much.
Yeah, but the things you can do, you can advance. Each of these is 1 action. And you can repeat actions if you so desire. So, advance. Move 2 zones. Attack run. You move 1 zone and then attack something. When you're attacking something, it has to be adjacent to you. Direct. Only certain ships can do this. I will point out the ones that can. This is basically one other vessel within 3 hexes may take an immediate action. Disengage. Move 1 zone and increase your defense value. I'll explain the attack and defense values in a minute. Feint. Move 1 zone and you decrease the defense value of an enemy ship next to you. Flank speed. Move 3 zones, but lower your own defense. Regroup. Move 1 zone and then regroup. Now, everything effectively has 2 hit points. If you take 1 damage, you're damaged. This means, among other things, you can only take 1 action. Regrouping gets you from damaged to back up to full health. If you take 2 damage, then you're out of the battle, period.
Disabled or destroyed?
That is up to the GM.
Fair enough.
So, here's how combat works. We're going to pretend that Sealer and Worf don't like each other, which isn't hard to do. Actually, let's use the Nightingale and the Firehawk because you can all see the stats on both of those. So, if you look at the Nightingale, you can see that it's got 255 as far as the numbers go. The red is your HP. The green is your attack value. And the blue is your defense value.
Okay.
So, if you select one of these, you'll note, among other things, that I goofed something on the Firehawk. That is not new ability 0. That is regroup. so stupid because... There we go.
There.
I take it the attack and defense values are determined on the scale of the ship?
Well spotted. Yes.
Because I'm noticing the differences in numbers between these ships that I can select.
Yes. So the Laval, because the Scimitar is the only scale 7 thing here, has the highest base stats. But Imperator's Warbird gets bonuses to all the things it does, so that's probably more dangerous.
I see why you said the Laval is the second scariest thing here.
Yes, well. So, let's say the Nightingale wants to take an attack action. So, we move it in. And... Okay. So, would someone like to do the honors? Select the Nightingale and press the attack button, which has appeared.
Ooh, which one's the attack button?
Up in the top left.
For the top left, when you select something, you should have 4 buttons: attack, defense, regroup, and reset. Lovely. That didn't do the thing. Why didn't it do the thing? That's why it didn't do the thing. Okay, so this did a number of things. First of all, you can see that it lowered the attack value by 1. Now has an attack value of 4. Over on the log, you can see the attack roll, 5. And if you hover over it, you can see what effects it had. Now, the Nightingale doesn't have a high tactical value, so those just count as 1. So it got an attack roll of 5. That's it. Now, we need to see if that did any damage. So someone select the Firehawk and click Defense. Okay, so 2 people did it. So you can see that that lowered the defense value by 1 each time. We'll take the first roll. So in this case, 5 beats 3, but the Firehawk has high tactical value, so the effect rolls count as 2. That is in fact a total of 5, not 3. So that's equal. If it's a tie, nothing happens. If instead we take the roll that 10 made, that's just a 3. Got an effect and a 1. Total of 3. 5 beats 3, which would mean that the Firehawk is now damaged. Now let's pretend for a moment that instead the Nightingale only got an attack roll. In that case, the Nightingale will be damaged. So when you make an attack, if the attacker beats the defender is damaged. If the defender beats the attacker is damaged. If they tie, nothing happens.
Interesting.
Now,
I'm assuming regrouping restores some of these values.
No, regrouping. Let's.
Or is that reset?
Yes, reset happens at the end of the round. At the end of the round, all the attack and defense values are reset to their normal value. Basically, when it comes to the end of the round, I'll just select everything, hit reset, and everything will go back to its base values.
Okay.
Now, regrouping is to repair stuff, so the Firehawk has now been damaged. So let's try and regroup with it. So someone click regroup.
I'll let you do it, 10.
6. Alrighty. Just make sure I'm recalling how this works. So roll challenge dice equals group. Adding 1 for each tip. That's 2. So, that rolled a 6 in total. 6 is more than 4. So, this goes back to full health. Basically, the regroup roll is you're rolling your defense dice, and you're hoping to roll over your base defense value. Now, because each of these lower whenever stuff happens. So say the Firehawk got through that, yay, but its defense value's gone down. Sealer comes in, takes a shot. Now it's only got 3 dice to defend with. So there's a big thing about overwhelming stuff. The more shots you pour into something, the lower its defense value is going to be. This is also where feinting comes in, because when you feint against something, you don't make the attack roll, so you can't be damaged, so there's no damage can be applied, but you decrease the defense value not by 1, but by 2.
Ouch.
Yep. So I know that there's a fair amount in there, and I'm sure that I'll have to remind you guys of things as we go along. But does that roughly make sense?
Yes.
Actually, seems a little bit simpler than normal combat.
Well, yeah, it is. It's meant to be simpler and faster for dealing with large groups of combat. And to be honest, I should have been using this already, because I've been stretching the normal combat system to its limits for a while. But yes, as far as special things go, the Enterprise, the Moog, and the Laval can all direct stuff. The Firehawk, Imperator's Warbird, and the Litchfield all do extra damage.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And Gorn Flagship, Imperator's Warbird, Galaxy, and the Nightingale are better at regrouping.
All right.
And they also give regroup buff. They also give that buff to ships which are adjacent.
Aha.
Nice.
So they can help repair stuff around them.
What about the Telonis? Is there anything special about it?
No, it's just a solid ship.
Okay.
It's got some 6/6 stats.
Question.
Yes.
For this purposes, does the Firehawk still have its ability to fire under cloak?
Cloaking devices are buzzed out for this.
Okay, so no cloaking now. Okay.
Cloaking is not treated as part of the fleet combat rules now.
Okay.
Basically, you can kind of assume that that ability and the surprise associated with that is rolled into the extra damage it can do. Okay. Now, things you can do as player characters. Basically, before you take your actions with the ship that you're aboard, you can make a difficulty 3 check. To do a number of things. You can take an extra action. You can reroll any number of attack or defense dice once before the group's next turn. You can add an additional dice plus 1 extra for each momentum spent to an attack or defense roll once before the group's next turn. Before the ship's next turn, sorry. You can move an additional zone whenever you'd move, or you can automatically regroup without having to roll for it. So basically, when it comes to around the Galaxy, Nightingale, Gorn flagship, the Moog, or the Firehawk, you can say that you want to do something fancy. Alrighty.
So I'm technically Vintop on the Firehawk then, huh?
No, you are Commander
I wanted to verify this. No, they were actually distributing people.
You're Nilduno for the person that's Vintop will stay aboard. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. So would I be doing tasks for repair on Nightingale, or is that always going to be in the fleet system?
That's all part of the fleet rolls.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. So yes, go ahead and feel free to ask questions. I'm sure there'll be more questions and ask requests for reminders. But are we good to go?
I think so.
Are the fleet combat rules in the core book, or are those?
They're in the command supplement.
Okay.
So I know 10 has those, but
I was just thinking if there was like a quick reference guide somewhere that would be handy to have up.
Yeah, I was just hunting around to try and find one.
You cut out on someone.
Did they take him away?
Lazu?
Did they take him away?
Her.
Why do I keep doing that?
You're not the only one.
Reasons? I don't know. Okay, tell you what I can do actually, which will probably help. Yes.
The Moog seems to be a little off kilter on the map.
Looks fine to me.
I'm not saying anything.
Never mind.
Okay. Alright, this is going to be super clumsy. But it'll do Just as a quick and dirty thing. Minimize.
Did you back out or something? Because you disappeared from Rule 20.
Oh, I'm stupid. I must have closed my Chrome by accident. Alright. Like I said, it's not super pretty, but that covers all the things that you can do.
Okay.
What page is that on?
Dee.
Says chapter 5, 102.
Page 100 is where the fleet combat rules start.
100, 100. Yeah.
Alright, there we go.
Cool.
I have it in a separate tab, so I can read it better.
It occurred to me, wait, I have that book.
Did you get it with the GM thing? Or is that something to buy extra?
I get all of the books when they publish them because they have the cube.
Because they have the cube on sale, so I'm wondering if that means I'll get all the books. Like a January sale. Brought to you by Motivius.
Free advertising. For
That
our,
was the
like,
intent, even though I
3
used their trailer that plastered their logo all over us earlier.
For our, like, 3 watchers. One of which I think is me.
Well, part of that I'm gonna put on myself because I probably just need better social media branding and not wait until last minute to do things like that.
Alrighty, are we ready to get this show on the road?
I do believe so.
Of course, I give a rousing speech to the fleet. Truth, justice, and the Starfleet way, and all.
Make the Crusade pay for what they've done to the Romulans and the Klingons.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
Huh? You just finish off, and then something very, very large appears
Oh no.
smack bang in the middle.
I knew it was gonna come!
Shortly followed by a lot of ships.
Not surprised.
Where the Ark leads, all must follow.
It does appear that the Ark is hanging back, not planning to take immediate part in this fight. It's just there to provide moral support.
For all intents and purposes, it's basically a Starbase versus Starbase attack force thing.
Pretty much. Except the Ark's bigger.
Yeah. But you know what I mean.
Alrighty. pretty quickly, the various squadrons start to peel off and battle lines start to form. And it would appear that you have quite a set of things appearing right in front of you. And as expected,
The target has arrived.
along with it, some escorts. And as soon as they drop out of warp, the carriers kick out their gunships. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at war.
All ships, general quarters. Prepare for combat.
Molino stares at the view screen and goes, "Oh, fun."
Captain McCabe issues a ship-wide red alert and issues all security teams to be at the ready.
Both the Nightingale and the Enterprise would have been battle ready already.
And of course, a Klingon ship is always battle ready.
Show me a not battle ready Klingon ship, and I will show you one that does not exist.
Alrighty. How shall we open this up? I think.
If I may suggest, seeing how the Nightingale is tasked to spearhead this, maybe put her in front.
Alrighty. Captain Shazonan, what are your orders?
Let's see. The Nightingale will. Let's see. All ahead. So move 2 squares for move.
Yep, that is an advance.
And is it kind of like other combat where it's like I take an action, then somebody else takes an action, somebody else takes an action, somebody
Nope.
else takes an action, or is it both
Nope.
actions?
You take both actions in a row, and then you're done. Don't forget, you can also make a roll as Talia for
Right.
some kind of bonus.
Tell you, so it's just like a base. Oh, what stats? I don't even remember if you said what stats those are based off of.
What do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do, and I will throw stats at you. It's basically how it works. It's a difficulty 3 check, that's the only fixed rule. So like if you want to tell me that your rousing speech, you want to use your rousing speech to galvanize the Nightingale to get an extra action or something, I would make your roll command presence or something. It's that kind of thing.
So what she so she says all ahead full, and then could one of these rolls? Because what I'm thinking is doing power to the forward shields.
Power to forward shields
Roll-
and weapons.
Well, extra power to the forward shield.
Okay.
That would be a reroll or a extra dice thing.
Yeah.
So yes, that would be control command, I think.
I can do control command. That's fine.
Okay. Question, I just thought about
Pretty
this. Does momentum mean anything in fleet combat?
Momentum primarily.
I would assume it would keep its main role for when we want to do own special roles. Like what Crate is wanting to do.
Yeah, I think momentum and threat only apply to characters, not ships, in fleet combat.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
And sorry if I missed that.
No, it's fine. It didn't actually come up.
And is our momentum count correct? Are we at 3?
Yep.
A new episode.
ooh,
Alrighty.
well, that's 2 successes.
It's 2 successes. It's good. The Nightingale is prepped and ready for combat. It's just not quite good enough to get an extra.
Right. So you have to be
extra
like on the point with them dice rolls to get anything extra,
pretty much.
or spend that precious momentum. All right, so that's my turn.
Don't you have the opportunity to move the Enterprise?
You've only taken 1 action with the Nightingale.
Oh, so my action was not the Nightingale's action.
Your action is an extra thing as a bonus for being aboard a ship.
Yeah.
So the Nightingale can still say, if you really want to, attack, which lets it move a square, and then you can fire on that forward crusade vessel.
Yeah. Somehow I don't think that seems intelligent, though. Sticking your neck out there.
That is a Crusade destroyer. It's one of their smaller ships.
It also is
Yes,
lacking a name tag.
God damn it.
as well as the Lucara.
Oh shoot, yeah.
I mean, as long as she can manipulate it.
Oh sure, it's just handy to see what we're looking at so far as tactics go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see everything else, though?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
The Arc is not meant to have stats if you can't, so that's why you can't see those.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? Fortune favors the bold.
Could he use his other action for the Enterprise instead of the Nightingale?
No, these are per ship,
Oh, per ship.
not
okay.
not per character, per ship.
You can do that if you have direct, but only the Enterprise, the Moog, and the Laval can direct.
So, fortune favors the bold, right?
You're gonna go for the attack?
Yeah, why not?
Alrighty.
Catch up and defend me.
Maybe this should actually work now.
All right, rolling attack.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice opening volley.
It didn't actually play the sounds, did it? Okay, whatever. Alrighty. Yep. That Crusade Destroyer definitely took a beating.
Yeah.
And, you can have one of those since,
Yay.
Now the music has stopped.
I wonder if it does it need a clear cue in order to play the sounds?
some things in the jukebox stop other stuff and others don't. It's really inconsistent.
I am hearing music.
You are hearing music?
Haven't been.
Oh,
Huh. There was some.
there was, yeah, until the phaser fired.
Alright, we're just gonna have to do without music for a while.
Oh, well.
Sorry guys.
That's okay.
Not your fault.
That's what
It'll-
YouTube is for.
Assuming that it actually works now that it doesn't have that queue up, this should make it up to you soon. Once anything more goes, I want to get your reactions. Anyway, yes, the Nightingale. Congratulations, you have smacked up that destroyer.
They didn't make her the spearhead for nothing.
Alrighty. Let's get things going. So, Crusade Alpha 1 is a small craft, so it can go zippy zippy.
This is what I was afraid of.
And you know what? We're actually going to go down here. And we're going to do a feint.
Oof.
Alright. And you know what? Just marking what things have gone, because there's a lot here.
Fair enough.
Back to you guys.
Anyone want to make a move, or in particular? I mean,
I think Imperator would like to return fire, but if anybody else has a better idea.
No, you do you, boo.
Alright. Imperator's going to open fire on that gunship.
Alrighty.
And move up, because we can.
hey, it puts you closer to the Nightingale.
Restricted.
Invalid. What?
What?
Fire?
Roll 20 AM command? Oh. Is that what the... Is that what's running into... Oh, so that was a terrible roll. Jesus.
Even for a Borg ship.
Still a 4, but yeah, it's not great. Why? Why? All right, let me just try something. All right, click it again. Needing to do some on-the-fly
All right, clicking.
debugging.
Nope, still says it.
Hmm.
What happens when I do it? Apparently, so I rigged all of these commands up, every single ship, so that it would actually automatically play Starship combat sounds. Apparently it's broken because it relies upon a particular script, which apparently players aren't allowed to access.
Weird.
Hmm.
I mean,
And there's no way to give that permission, I gather.
There might be, but that will require a lot of debugging.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So in the meantime, how about we just we just tell you which ship and what action we want to use, and you can hit the button.
Alrighty.
I mean, we'll get the sounds, and it all works the same way otherwise.
I mean, everything else works. There's no sound associated with any of the other things. I don't have to press reset anyway. It's just if I press attack, then we'll get fancy sounds. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
alrighty.
So are we? Which role are we taking?
The first one.
I'll be right back. I have to step away for a bio break.
Sure. Okay. Yes. So, you're actually damaged. That's embarrassing. To be fair, that's not one gunship. That's a squadron of them. But
Oh, right.
Fair enough.
each of those carriers has 4 gunships on it, and each of these squadrons has 2 of them. So that's not like we're talking about dinky runabouts. They're more like Gemidar attack ships, but still. Well, they're smaller than that, but it's the same sort of concept.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have another action.
Yes, I think. Disengage or regroup.
Regroup is probably the safer option.
I would say regroup.
Disengage would get the defense stat back up, though.
It's true. But
Whichever one you're hoping to achieve, go for it.
Decisions. Let's try disengage. See if we can sucker some folks in.
okay.
Because that allows me to move the zone, and then increases defense by 2 until the start of the next turn.
Correct.
So we'll pull the Imperator back. And then set the defense to 6 for now. will be Imperator's turn.
Alrighty. Let's 1, 2, 3.
BRB bio.
Okie dokie. And 1, 2. And that is going to make a feint at the galaxy. Back to the rainbow line.
Alrighty, I think I would like to take a turn and have the galaxy return fire on Crusade Group Alpha 2.
Alrighty.
All right. Back. Sorry about that.
Okay, so move up, because, yeah. And attack. Oh, nice. Woohoo!
Alrighty. Yep. They took a turn. Alrighty.
Back.
And you have another action.
Another action.
You can, in fact, attack again.
Yeah, I'm going to attack again. Okay, that's looking good right now.
Oh,
I think someone got his sound effects from, what's that website called?
Is that... Yes!
The website with all the Star Trek sounds. I can't remember what it's called right now. Trek Core.
Some of them are, yeah. The torpedo spread thing, which I've got, I'm pretty sure was ripped from a movie. Alrighty.
So the galaxy has attacked twice and destroyed Crusade Alpha 2.
Excellent. First blood. Okay.
So I'm going to take it's my turn now. Well,
No, it's
after
Crusade's turn. Yeah.
Crusade Alpha is going to move up. And then it's going to direct Crusade Alpha 1.
Figured it was going to go for me.
And... okay. It's a little buggy, the sounds don't always go off. But yes, Galaxy, make your defense roll.
Ah.
Right here.
nothing happens, I believe.
Indeed.
Or does
Alright, over to you guys.
I believe it's my turn. Isn't it?
It can
That
be.
could be.
It's down to you and Bong.
Okay. So, does, is Firehawk supposed to have some speed on it, so it could be zippy like the other, like those Crusade ships, or?
Yes, both the Litchfield and the Firehawk can move one extra zone whenever they move.
I would like to, I would like to get up there and send the Firehawk to give Nightingale some support.
Alrighty.
that would be you could do that with a move, and then your attack action would put you in range of either Epsilon or Gamma.
Could potentially finish off Gamma.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. So
Alrighty.
I can, where would I? Okay, so basically just follow this line right here. Is that right? Or am I too far?
So your initial advance would take you to there, and then you can either go there, or you can go to there with your attack action.
Let's just go there.
Here. Alrighty.
Oh, there.
Okay.
That way I
And
can
your
fire
attack
on the destroyer.
makes sense.
Oh no!
Oh,
I hope the destroyer rolls the same.
Technically, you should have tried to make a character roll before taking your actions, and if you
Oh,
perchance did something which would allow you to re-roll your attack dice,
crud. Can I
Would you
still do that? And we
perhaps-
kind of retcon that?
I don't see why not. I'm not paying attention at all.
Okay, let's see. I'm opening up Old Duno's character sheet. What can I do? What can I do? Are we talking about talents here, or?
It's I mean, for this sort of thing, you'd probably be looking at like a control command roll to keep your crew organized for a good attack run or something like that.
Basically a rally.
Okay, let's do that. Do I even have rally? How do I do that? I'm sorry.
That's good.
I'm still kind of all foggy and all everything. It's been so
It's all
long.
good. It's a difficult check. Control plus command.
Oh, that's all that is. Okay.
And remember, it's a difficulty 3 check.
Okay, control plus command. I would like to use momentum to up my task roll, right?
Yes.
So I can get 3 die. Anybody got a problem with if I take a momentum?
Go ahead.
I do not.
All right. And I can't use a focus, can I?
I will allow you to use Justice for a Lost World for this roll.
That works for me. All right, rolling.
Oh,
Are you what? Did it even roll?
it did. I'm looking at your results now.
You might want to try scrolling down on the feed. It might have accidentally bumped you up.
There it
Wow,
is.
yeah, it's a pretty cruel set of dice.
The dice are trying to
Alright.
kill you.
Yep, that is I have to ping some health off the firehawk. I'm afraid.
Ouch.
Okay, that did not go as well as I planned at all.
Yeah, that was a
And
really
Aldino's
bad roll.
screaming at the chief engineer right now.
You run.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll have things fine.
It's
Nobody
fine.
panic.
This is fine. There's nothing wrong here.
Aaron says, running around with a fire extinguisher.
Alrighty. Crusade Gamma. Crusade Gamma is actually going to
He's actually going to what?
regroup. So
But yeah,
Now,
it's being ganged up on by the two main ships of this whole endeavor.
pretty much. And it fails to regroup. Wow.
Well,
I mean, didn't have a lot of dice to work with, but still, ouch. Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah, back to you guys.
Wasn't that only one action from the Crusade ship?
It's damaged. Damaged ships
Okay.
only get one action.
Okay, gotcha.
yep. And the Moog is moving up.
Wait, can the Moog move one extra space? No, that's just for the speedy ships. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Moog's a big boy.
Yeah. I had a couple things mixed up. So
The Moog
Can
does
I
have
use
the
a direct action?
The Moog can use direct, yes.
And what happens if I say direct the Imperator's Warbird?
It gets to take an immediate action.
Is that a move or fire, or a move and fire?
The Imperator cannot reach anyone with an attack action, so it'd have to be either a move or something else.
I think pretty much a move.
If you want to, yeah, if you want to get some firepower and stuff, then probably looking at ordering. And you could even do something like order the Laval forwards. If you do that, if you give the Laval a direct, that'll shunt it forward 2, and that'll push it in firing range when it comes to its turn.
I'm actually going to order the Tolonis forward, since it's one of the furthest back we have.
Makes sense. And you've got the Tolonis, yeah. Cool. You can push it more if you're willing to sacrifice defense, but might be a little risky
fine.
with those gunships nosing around.
Yeah.
A quick question in terms of the direct command. I'm looking at the page you linked, and it says one other vessel or group within long range. What qualifies as long range for us here?
3 hexes.
3 hexes, okay.
Alrighty.
Next victim.
Alright.
So we still have so much more to go.
Okay. And yeah. Meh. Let's take an attack run on the Firehawk.
I was afraid of that.
I was thinking you were going to say the Nightingale. Oh no.
Alrighty.
Come on, Firehawk.
Firehawk.
Long live the Empire. Firehawk.
I'm
Fantastic.
here. Am I about to press a button?
Yes. Press the Click the Firehawk and press the defense button.
Okay. Firehawk.
The buttons are at the top of the screen.
The 1,
If
the
you're
3, or
looking-
the 4?
No, not one of those. There's an attack, defense, regroup, and reset buttons
Oh,
at the top.
I see it now. I thought it was right above the icon. Okay.
No,
You're
no,
fine.
no, no.
Alright, so defense.
Yay!
Hey!
You held your own.
Did more than that.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Firehawk has enhanced firepower, doesn't it?
Right.
It does indeed. Okay. So while trying to put out fires in engineering and flipping around, you lay some plasma torpedoes and some Crusade gunships. It's lovely. Alrighty, back to you guys.
May I take my leave and use and move the Litchfield forward to try and provide more additional support for the forward ships.
You may, in fact.
Okay.
Litchfield
Yeah,
has
sounds fun to me.
extra firepower, and she moves faster.
Ooh.
All right. So first action, Janeway will advance. So instead of 2, she moves up 3, right?
That's correct.
Don't spill her coffee.
All right. I could pretty much have her attack Crusade Alpha, Crusade Delta, or Crusade Gamma. I'll probably try to have her go after Crusade Gamma, given its weakened state.
Probably not a bad plan.
All right. The shield moves forward and attacks Crusade Gamma. Aw, no sound effects.
Sometimes they just don't work. It's
With an 8. Holy crap.
Janeway knows how to lay down the hurt.
Oh. Bye, Gamma.
He's
Very
gonna-
smoothie.
that ship is Gamma gone.
Yep. Warlord Janeway strikes again.
Somebody
Alright.
told her it was a unknown sensor anomaly.
Oh, I do believe
It's back to the Crusade's turn.
Crusade Delta is going to make to advance and is going to make a feint on the Litchfield. Alrighty.
Do I need to hit the defense roll or something?
No, feint just happens.
Okay.
So we have the Enterprise, the Talonus, the Laval, and the Gorn left.
Gorn getting up there is going to be interesting. I think we might have to take some drastic measures to get in the fight.
Remember that you can supercharge your engines to move 3.
Yeah, flank speed. Which, I think we're going to be taking. Does anyone mind if the Gorn go next?
Sure. No, go ahead.
All right.
I mean, technically, you can also just sort of nose past and take pot shots at Crusade Alpha away.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about that.
And don't forget it. Once you take flank speed, it reduces your defense by 2. If I read that right.
Until the next turn, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll just move and then engage.
Also, bear in mind that that entire wing of the Crusade fleet is gone.
What now?
Yeah.
It's just the Lucara Crusade Beta and Crusade Beta 2 left, which haven't gone, and everything's about to reset. So
Right.
And then move there for the engagement. So Gorn are firing on Alpha 1.
Oh.
Be right back. I got a dog talking to me.
Let's see, with 3 effects, so that's technically an 8.
you don't get bonus damage with that thing. It's got extra defenses.
That's right.
Or extra repair capability, technically.
Fair
Alrighty.
enough. In this case, didn't need it.
Lovely. Just leaves us with chips. But first, the Crusade.
So that'd be Lucara, Epsilon, Beta, and Beta 2.
Okay, I'm back.
Ah.
The Lucara is moving now.
Mono on mono. Okay. Defense.
Oh!
Oh,
Somebody spilled the Admiral's coffee.
Okay.
Okay, upon my next turn, I'm gonna definitely pull a regroup move on the Lichfield. Or disengage, whichever.
And yeah, let's open fire on the Nightingale for good measure.
That's not quite as impressive. That's the Firehawk.
Whoops.
That's
Much
more
better.
like it.
Yeah.
So you might want to bump the Firehawk's defense value back up 1.
Yeah, fixed it.
Yay.
Woohoo, thank you.
Alrighty.
That means the Lucara takes some damage in that attack.
It does.
It's kind of interesting that Lucara kind of got herself a little surrounded.
Well, the Lichfield will be pulling back during my next turn, so...
Alrighty. Talonis and the Laval.
As well as the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Big,
and the Enterprise.
Oh.
the Big E still has to go.
I'll move the Talonis, I think.
Alrighty. Gonna try and finish off those gunships.
What? How is 10 able to make the attack roll and not get that whole restricted notice thing?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Because I am a golden god!
Question for you,
There goes-
10. Do you happen to have... Do you pay for your roll 20?
I do not.
Okay, I was wondering if it has something to do with being subscribed or not.
If the subscription only applies to the GM, if the GM subscribed, then players get all the benefits of subscription in that game.
Okay.
Huh.
Yep.
That's why you may have noticed when you were loading in, you did not get any ads. among
Yep.
other things.
Oh, I did not notice that. Of course, I was too freaking out trying to get the overlay ready.
Yes, well. Alrighty.
So there's only leaves 2 fighter squadrons left.
Yeah, they've been going down pretty fast.
That's what happens with fighters.
Especially when they leave themselves out in the middle of the enemy fleet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at when Cisco led the attacks to retake Deep Space Nine. The Peregrine fighters lasted pretty well,
Okay.
but that's a digression.
Yeah, let's get Crusade Beta up. And that's going to use the direct. Which means the Lucara is going to... As my mouse stops being a pain. Lucara does not regroup. Wow, even with the bonuses, that's... Can you... You know, technically, an effect is the most likely result on a challenge dice aside from 0. And, no.
Oh,
But it's still pulled back, which is something. Alright, Enterprise or Laval?
Well,
Right,
I'm
so I can have.
Oh, go ahead.
So it's like the direct action can be used to have somebody regroup, right, and heal up,
Yep.
and it has to be long range.
3 hexes or less.
And so Enterprise first action is to move up. Second action is to have the Lich Field.
Do something.
Disengage.
regroup, I thought was what I heard.
Oh, or does that? That ship gets the action. So the Lich Field gets the.
The Litchfield
Right.
can take an action. Whatever action it wants.
Okay, it's my decision. I would say disengage so they can get its defense back up.
Bear in mind, it's about to we're about to reset.
Okay, so
Yeah, I would use the regroup.
okay, then just regroup, which is just move of 1 zone.
I mean, technically, the +2 defense sticks around until the start of your next turn, which means that it would get added on top of your base when
So
the
I
reset happens.
technically, I have 5 defense right now with the Lich Field.
If you take the disengage, then you have 5. Yeah, your base is 5. So after the reset, it'll be 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the regroup action.
Okie dokie.
Do I need a button for the regroup?
There should be a regroup command next to the
Oh,
attack
right.
defense.
What then? What?
They need a better QA test team on this thing. Not to be mean, Roll20, but
Unless that's a thing that can happen.
I don't know how. I mean, even with dice rolls, how the heck would
No,
you get a
the
-1?
dice. No, the dice I think the dice screwed up on that one. That might just have been an
Yeah, it's
effed up macro.
Want me to hit it again?
oh. No, I see what's happened.
What's up?
Hold on, I need to tweak something. Okay, do it again. Yeah, that was my bad.
Hit the regroup again?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a little bit better.
Yep, does not regroup though.
Oh. What does it need to regroup, though?
You need to hit your base value. So it would need to be a 5.
Oh,
Because you're next to the Nightingale, your effects count as 2, but you didn't roll any.
gotcha.
Yeah, regrouping is not super easy in this.
Alright, that means it's Crusade Absalom or Beta 2.
Yep. Right. Epsilon is gonna head down there. And it's gonna fire on the Firehawk. Fire on the Firehawk without... Okay. So, yes, Firehawk defense roll.
Ouch.
Oh.
Alrighty.
I think I know what I'm doing with Laval when we get there.
So, the Firehawk, after its brave attack run to support the Nightingale, takes a few nasty hits and starts leaking plasma fairly badly. You have been disabled. And-
Darn it! I should have had Laval move up earlier. Dang. My idea was to have Laval move up and then give a direct command for the Firehawk to regroup. That was my plan.
Yep. That's,
Too late
Lost
now,
the
though.
arc, by the way.
Because it can't come back, right?
right now.
Firehawk's done. Great, I killed us.
You're not dead. It's just disabled.
Iran, you got your work cut out for you.
Clearly.
We also lost a Rainy. Randus. Pharrell. We lost a Pharrell.
We did.
You really did. That looks like maybe a DC, because they're not on Discord either.
Yeah.
He's also in an area that's getting pounded with snow, I think. He's in around the Kansas City area, and it's getting hit. It's supposed to get up to possibly up to 4 or 5 inches of snow, but I don't know if that matters. But
It can.
Alright. In that case, we have the Laval and 1 gunship squadron left. It's getting on a little bit. I've been awake for far too long. So how about we finish this round, and then call a halt, because I think we're in a pretty good spot to go into interesting territory next week.
Sounds good to me.
This has been going at a decent pace, actually. Wish I'd thought to integrate the system before. Though, of course, having the macros has made it a lot smoother.
Yeah, those are pretty handy.
Okay, so I gotta move Laval now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm also not a big fan of leaving, almost feeling like there's a big old gap where they could flank and make a run at the starbase.
It's not great now.
So
I mean, you do have invisible firefights all around you, but still.
What's that?
You've got the background fleets as well, but still. Flanking.
Hey, he's back.
Okay. So how many spaces can he move? I know he's slow. Or she, or Silo, or
Okay,
Laval, or whatever you want to call it.
I'm finally back. My internet hiccuped.
Yeah, we
back.
figured.
I'm thinking I can only move 2 spaces.
Yeah, you can move 2 spaces by default, and 1 if you're doing something as well.
Okay,
You
what did
can
I
move
miss?
3 if you go at flank speed. It sacrifices a little defense, but you're about to have a reset.
I'm
Firehawk
going to
is,
do this, I think.
Gone.
Wait. Oh, Talon's in that spot. It's so dark I couldn't see it. Or is it?
Yeah.
Is Talonus there, or am I just overseeing things?
Talonus is...
Oh, hold on.
Hold on. There's a way I can do this. Yep. Talonus is in that hex. You started here, I'm pretty sure. So you've moved 2 hexes. Yes, so now you have a second action. Either one probably being to give a direct action to someone.
The Litchfield is pretty much the only one.
The Litchfield,
You are.
the Imperator.
Yeah,
The Imperator, probably, yeah. It's a
which
action.
which should regroup, the Imperator or the Litchfield? Okay. So what happened while I was trying to get my internet back up? Oh.
Pretty much.
So what's with the skull and crossbones on the Firehawk?
She's
Firehawk
yeah.
had a wing
Quarters.
shot off.
Okay. So it does not regroup. Damn it.
Dice rolls have been fairly cruel today.
At least in terms of like regrouping and such.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. And Crusade Beta 2. Is going to block and then
What's,
he's going to get some extra defense.
what's Crusade Beta 2 doing?
It's disengaging technically. You're moving GM later. Okay.
What happened to the Firehawk?
It was cluttering, so I hit it.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that is the end of the round.
So everything's reset.
Everything's reset. I think we agreed we're gonna call it because GM needs to sleep.
Yeah.
Hang on, why didn't the red value on the Litchfield reset?
Red values don't reset.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Not without a regroup action, and we've not been having great fun with those.
Nope.
Alrighty. But you are in a position to... You've done some damage to them. You've taken out multiple gunship squadrons and one of their escorts. Firehawk being taken out is bad, but your heavy hitters are in good shape. And most importantly, the Lakara is damaged. If you can get another point onto it, then the plot advances.
We can begin to board.
Indeed. Exciting times.
Mm-mm.
So, I should go sleep because let's see, it's now 6 o'clock, which means I've been awake for 21 hours.
Shit, man.
Close to legal insanity.
Go sleep.
I brought this upon myself. Like I knew this was going to happen, and to be honest, I've felt way worse in the past when I've done this sort of thing. So that's cool, I guess. But yeah, I'm good. But I hope you're all having fun with this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was kind of worried that there'd just be too many ships with this layout that I've got here, but it's gone along at a fair old clip.
Yeah, I like these combat rules. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, glitches and mishaps aside, this is all pretty good.
I'm always down for a skirmish war game.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that the sound effects thing just isn't working properly, but you know.
Maybe you'll somehow get it straightened out for the next for our next session.
Question for you: how is that done? Is it like actual scripting, or is there a little Roll20 thing you have to run through to get all that to working? Or do you have to write an actual script, or
For which part?
just doing the sound effects?
Basically, the way that it works is you can load scripts directly into the game through a toolbox
I
after
see.
the main Roll20 site, and then you can pull on macros, which then do stuff with them.
Okay.
The main scripting is all in Java, which my knowledge of Java is clumsy at best. But all the scripts I'm using are kind of things which have been crowdsourced by dozens of people.
Gotcha.
The thing where it gets a little wonky is that the macros I'm using were designed by someone specifically for Star Trek Adventures. Thus were basically made by one person, so
I gotcha.
I've already had to tweak them somewhat because Roll20 macro codes have changed since then. That was a fun debugging session, let me tell you. But yeah, I have a feeling.
Okay, I might see how much a subscription is, so I can go in there and kind of play. I actually, my job mainly is scripting, website scripting, so I can probably take a look at some things if I need to.
Fair enough. It's $10 a month to get the Pro
That's
membership,
not bad.
which you need to access the scripting.
That's not bad at all.
It's really not, yeah.
No worse than a Netflix subscription.
Before we go any further with like questions, so should we like go off air?
Yes. Yeah, I have no idea if anyone's watching. Hopefully, if anyone is, either now or later on YouTube, you've enjoyed the show. This has been fairly dry combat, but next week there should be boarding actions and showdowns with old enemies. Should be good. But yes, that will lead into the next episode, and then after that, the finale. Season 3, after tweaking the plot a little bit, Season 3 has turned out to be 3 episodes, not 4.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Which does mean that I did actually cut out the... You may remember there was a plan to have a cameo episode with Q, which has been removed, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I was afraid you were gonna say that.
Yeah, it was a fun concept, but I just felt like it was going to ruin the pacing.
Probably.
So
She was kind of good at that.
this is going to be much more punchy. There's basically going to be no time delays between the 3 episodes of this season.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But it will involve, among other things, boarding a Crusade arc.
That'll be fun.
And you will, of course, also come face to face with the goddess Masaka. I hope you're excited. I know I am. As for everyone else out there, we do hope that you will join us again next time among the Embers.
Alright, folks. It's been fun. I will see you next time.
Yep.
Come on,
Have a great day.
Catch you later.